Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to finish up our discussion about integrating our application into a number of Liferay frameworks. In this video, we're going to be talking about the search framework. So let's go ahead and get started. So Liferay by default uses an external search engine. We at Liferay are using Elasticsearch by default. There's a lot of little logistics that go with that, but for the scope of this discussion, we won't worry too much about that. If you're interested more about Elasticsearch and those little nitty-gritty details, we talk more about that over in the DevOps course. So in order for our custom entity to be indexed, the first thing that we have to do is to ensure that that entity, or that asset in this case, is converted to a search index document. So all of Liferay's assets, all of Liferay's content is already doing that. So when we are leveraging Liferay's search framework, integrating our gradebook application, in this case, into the framework, we have both APIs and SPIs to leverage. An SPI is basically kind of a special API that's used when we're doing some sort of customization. In this case, we are. So we're going to be taking a look at those SPIs once we go through our exercise. We're going to be using the contribution design pattern. And if you want to do things the old way with a single indexer, that's still available as well. Again, this is more quote unquote legacy if you want to take that approach. So in order to integrate our gradebook application into Liferay Search Framework, here's the overview of it. We first need to add the indexable annotation above a number of our local service methods. So whenever we're adding an assignment, for example, we need to make sure that that assignment is going to be indexed. And when it's being deleted, we need to make sure that that's being removed from the index, and so on and so forth. The next thing we need to do is implement a model register class to register with the search framework. So following the same patterns that we've gone through over in the asset framework, we're doing something very similar with the search framework. We need to then implement a model document contributor to control which fields are indexed. So when we're searching for a specific aspect of our entity, whether it's the title or the description or so on, we need to specify what exactly do we want to search for so that it can be indexed. We then need to implement a model indexer writer contributor to configure re-indexing. So whenever we make updates to our assignments, right, we need the proper logic to re-index when appropriate. We need to then implement a keyword query contributor to control which fields are being queried. Again, kind of the same story on just the other side of the coin from step number 3. And then finally, we implement a model summary contributor to control the summaries returned. So when we search for a specific assignment, it's going to have a little preview or summary. Within the search result, we can control how that's going to be expressed. Let's talk a little bit more about the indexable annotation. So Liferay provides a indexable annotation already on specific methods. If you take a look within the base implementation classes, so something like assignment local service base impl, when you look at some of the methods there, like the add assignment, you should see the indexable annotation already there. All of that to say, the indexable annotation is provided for us and used within our service builder generated files. When we're going through the indexing process, there are two index action types, the re-index and the delete. So let's take a look at one of the examples. This is again within our assignment local service base impl. We have the indexable annotation. Type equals indexable type, in this case, re-index. And then at the bottom, you'll see the return of the assignment object. So that part is also very important. Okay, we'll go in a little bit more detail within the exercise, but that wraps it up for this video, and I will see you in the next video.